يعني الكل تحت الشجر الزيتوني. كنا نحن عايشين بالبريف، يعني كل واحد عنده بيت وبقلبه أرض كبيرة في أشجار. كان لما كنا أول ما صارت الحرب يعني الكل من يشوف طيارة خلص يعني الكل بجمع أولاده وبجمع أهله وبيقعدوا بمكان ما فيه ضوء، لأن الطيارة من تشوف مكان فيه ضوء كانت تضرب دغري. حتى هلا نحن يعني عندنا بالضيعة يعني ما في غير كم بيت، أو لما هجينا طلعنا ما ضل غير كم بيت، وأكترية البيوت مضروبين وهيك. فدغري إنه خلص بدنا نطلع يعني الكل بلش يهرب، ففلينا نحن. كان نهار كتير صعب لما اجينا من سوريا، اجينا تهريب نحن.
ودبرت اجاري عطيته للمهرب، بنقول له تهريب يعني. عطيته للزلمه، طلعنا من المنطقه اللي احنا فيها وطلعنا انا وهالاولاد ما بنعرف شيء. وصلنا الحدود، قال هلا بنمشي شوي وبتصلوا. مشينا يعني بحياتي ما مشيت مثل هذيك الليله، ولا صار علي مثل هذيك الليله. ما لنا يعني سمعوا الذيب يعوي، قالوا مين هذول؟ قلت لهم هذول يعني عند غنميات، عند رعيان كليب هذول.
فضلنا 6 ساعات بنمشي على الجبل، يعني كنا خايفين لحتى انه ننمسك او حدا بيشوفنا.
وصلنا عاد لهون، احنا ما بنعرف انه جايبين لنا خلصه ثانيه، جايبين لنا خلصه. قالوا بدكم ترجعوا، ارجعوا. وين صارت الدنيا جبل وليل ظلمه، وين برجع؟ لا بيت بسوريا، لا حدا ضل لي، جوزي توفى، بيتي تهدم، ما عاد فيني ارجع. حطيت عيني بعين الله ومشيت. الحمد لله وصلنا هنا يعني لاجئين. شو وصلنا حالتنا مسخمه والحمد لله.
أنا اسمي ماهر، عمري 13 سنة. أنا يعني صف عندي هيك 10 أخوة، مات واحد وبقينا 9، 2 و7 شباب. أنا أجيت من سوريا بعد ما توفى بيي بكم شهر، أجيت هون على لبنان، وهلأ صار لي مقيم بلبنان، صار لي شي 6 سنين، من 2016 صار لي هون. خلال النهار أول ما بوقع أنا، أول ما بفيق بقوم بغسل وشي، بفوت على الحمام، بطلع برا شوي هيك على الشمس، برجع إذا في عندي دروس بدرس، ما في عندي. الفاعل بأول الجملة، مثال خبر تمام. يعني بطلع برا إذا في أولاد بلعب معهم، ما في أولاد برجع هون بشوف لي شغلة أتسلى فيها. إيه أكتر شيء أنا بحب هون ألعب بالحي. أكتر شيء هون بنحب نلعب أنا ورفقاتي قلل وفوتبول ولقيطة وهيك.
الشعبية 3:30.
أنا بحس يعني اللعب فيه بيغير العالم كله، فاللعب عنده القوة إنه بخلي العالم بتصير أحسن.
Andrew. Hey, Mark. Nice to meet you guys. Here we are, 2017, our first meeting. This is where it all started. It was the first time we ever met, and we didn't quite know where we were heading, but we had one thing in common. We were passionate about the unknown. The first meeting took place at the FIS HQ in Thun, Switzerland. That's where we drew the first lines of what would become a 4-year project, and by far one of the most impactful and eyes-opening experience of my life.
So let's get into it. Here at FIS, I'm in charge of a project called Bring Children to the Snow, and the project is, as the name suggests, it's to bring kids to the snow. We at this time have a little over 400 event organisers around the world, and just under the Snow Kids project alone, there's been now 3,300 events. So it's been a successful project so far, and together with its twin project, World Snow Day, it's really building a foundation for the future of snow sports. We have a number of partners involved in the project as well. Recently, Right to Play renewed their cooperation with FIS, so they're on board now again as well. And if I understand correctly, the idea now is to do something in the countries where you guys operate.
Before going too far, let me explain who is in this room and why we decided to make this project together. My name is Pat Bergener. I'm a professional snowboarder and musician. I was born and raised in Switzerland, but I'm half Lebanese. Then there's Mark, my brother and manager. This is a video of him when I led my run at the Olympics. Then there's Etienne, the most talented filmmaker I ever got the chance to work with. He's so down to earth and driven by his passion. Just a great human being. He's here to document the whole adventure. Then there's Andrew, from the FIS. He's always so serious about everything.
Take a photo.
But we love him. How we linked? Well, I'm competing in snowboard halfpipe World Cups, and those are organized by the FIS, the International Ski and Snowboard Federation. And then there's Philip. He's in charge of the business development at Try to Play Switzerland, an NGO active in 15 countries whose goal is to protect, educate and empower children from displaced backgrounds. Philip's always down for a good laugh, but also connects the dots for this project. What's important for now is that it is FIS charity of choice and that I'm an ambassador of Right to Play Switzerland, and they have programs in Lebanon, my second country. Now you get it. Anyway, back to Andrew.
There's a rough plan at the moment of what we want to do. The question is if we can do it, that's there. So the idea that we had at the moment was to do a project in Lebanon, but specifically for kids from displaced backgrounds.
As you know, we use play-based learning as a method for the children's, and the idea would be going there, seeing the projects and giving you the opportunity with some of the kids in the project. Go to the snow and have them explore the snow. So actually that would be the link and the match to bring children to the snow, the programs you just explained. Yeah.
They've had a really tough life as well, and we feel that by doing this, not only are we bringing the kids to the snow, but we're really trying to give them a break from a hard life.
My entire life changed on the backside 360 on the snowboard. I didn't like snowboarding when I was 10, I just wanted to skateboard all the time. I did this backside 360 on that day, and like just an emotional switch in my body, like I want to do this in my life. And I'm sure these kids, with one day on snow, they could have that emotional switch that, you know, change their entire perspective of life. It could be a really powerful project.
Well, look, I think the general idea is basically there. I think it is very much a question of can we discover what play is.
And that was the spark. Discover what play is. The initial idea was to bring 40 children to the mountain, because as you can imagine, most of them have never seen snow. We wanted to offer them a day that would hopefully shake up their lives. But what if on the way there, we could show the world the power of play? We were on a mission. Helpless, drowning the longest time, run all the way around, far down below. Hopeless, having the hardest time, reaching my peace of mind, so high above. It's been some time since we've been on the road. It's been some time since we left mother home. Since we left mother home. Since we left mother home. Collect my broken pieces. I might be whole again. Some way to go. I won't trust, harness my warmest dreams. Won't let my tears be seen, hide them within. It's been a long while, we've gone the wrong way. We had a wild run, we've come a long way. To be where we are and what we are best. It's been a long while, we've come a long way. It's been some time since we've been on the road. It's been some time since we left mother home. 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 Drowning the longest time, run all the way around, far down below. And here we are, Lebanon, a land that sits between mountains and sea. Once called the Switzerland of the Middle East, now a land of contrast devastated by wars and crises. Nearly half of the country's population are refugees, and there are more Lebanese living abroad than in their own country. A country of rich cultural heritage, diversity and craftsmanship. Home of some of the oldest cities in the world, numerous ethnicities and cultures that cohabit in one of the smallest countries on Earth. Famous for its world-renowned cuisine, wines and beaches. We were on a mission to support some children here, but first we needed to understand why Lebanon was facing such difficulties.
So Lebanon has always been the weakest link, I would say, probably in the region that we exist in. We've got some neighbors that are politically, at many times in different parts of history, have not been aligned with the Lebanese people's interests. And this has led, directly and indirectly to wars, to occupation, and, to other forms of conflict. This country has been put under a lot of pressure. There's no denying that. When you've got a population of 4 million people, and then there's 1.5 million refugees all of a sudden that come into the country. There's also the Palestinian refugees that are about 300 to 400,000, and then there are other refugees as well. So if you look at our population, the Lebanese population, and you look at the refugee population, it's almost half. So Lebanon geographically is small, doesn't have many resources up until recently when we've discovered oil and gas, but previously that was never a reality. And so it's a country that's pretty much has had to make do with the human capital that it possesses. It's about the people that are in the country that have been able to really get through living in a region that is for the most part hostile and unstable. All of the conflict that you witness in Lebanon, there's a huge external influence that comes into that, and it's a lot of times out of the control of the Lebanese even. And this is something that has had a very negative impact on the Lebanese population in general. The history that children are facing here in Lebanon is one that goes back to the Lebanese civil war, I would say, in terms of relevant and recent history.
The victims of that concise military operation are now refugees. Here, these slum children now enjoy a freedom forced on them by a massacre in which many of their fathers were slaughtered.
Children in Lebanon have lived a state of fear, anxiety, and uncertainty ever since I can remember. I mean, I'm from that war generation. And I still see it today in a lot of the programs that we run in Lebanon. From generation to generation, we haven't been able to really manage that. We haven't been able to deal with that. We haven't been able to reconcile between each other so that we lessen some of that fear and uncertainty that exists.
People living in this country are already suffering from the lack of services and necessities. They don't even have their basic rights. So there's no education, there's no healthcare, they don't have any hope for the future. And if we want to go in specific into the communities, a lot of children, they don't even have their IDs. So we have a big problem of children being stateless. And these children, they don't have any future because they can't get an education, they can't work, and technically they don't exist in Lebanon.
They also live with a constant feeling that they're not accepted, that they're outcasts, that they're just here temporarily, which is true, and then they will be returning, but they're not getting the level of services in many ways that they should be getting. So a lot of them live in very dire situations, a lot of them are discriminated against. There's issues of access, there's lack of services.
So through play, we are actually able to show these children through methods and ways that they can understand that there is a better chance for them, there are other opportunities.
Play is your trigger, it's your starting point. It's what we use to get people to change their mindsets. It's what we use to get people mobilized and organized.
Play is a trigger to get people to change their mindset. That's our first discovery. The next step was to go on the field to witness how and why these programs worked for these kids. That's when Etienne met Maher. He invited him so we could document his story, his daily life, the environment in which he lives, and how playing was impacting him.
أنا هناك لما كنت بسوريا كان في كتير أشياء هون مش موجودة. مثال كان في عندنا هناك بيت إلنا، وكان في عندنا أرض إلنا، وكان عندنا أشجار وأقلام ودجاجات، وكان في عندنا كلب. بس هلأ ما عادش في لا بيت لا أرض لا شجر لا بابا لا سيارة لا الغنم لا الدجاج، يعني لا كهرب لا مي. هون البيئة اللي عايشين فيها كلها همج، يعني ما حدا بيرد على التاني، ما في عمل فريقي، يعني النظافة ما في، التواصل ما في، ما حدا بيعطي مجال للتاني يعطي رأيه، أو بالأحرى ما بيسمعوا، يعني بيحتاج كتير أشياء هون الحارة. هلا يعني وكمان بالبيت يعني ما في كهرب، ما بتجي لحد الساعة 6 مساء وبتنقطع ل 12 بالليل، يعني وما في هالمي اللي متوفرة منيحة، والمي مالحة حتى مش حلوة، يعني كمان البيت ناقصه كتير اشياء. وكمان في نشا لما تشت الدنيا بتنش علينا الغرفة. الدراسة يعني حتى الدراسة أحيانا ما بنعرف ندرس، يكون في عندنا مثل امتحان أو هومورك يعني ما بنعرف نحل، لأنه أمي ما بتعرف لا تقرأ ولا تكتب، يعني ما فينا نساعد بعض. اللعب وأهلي ورفقاتي هون الحي اللي عشت فيه، يعني مع المرور الوقت قدرت يعني إنه أتخطى اللي صار معي وهيك، يعني معاش إنه كل شوي لا إنه بتذكر شو صار معي وشو كنت أعيش وهيك. شوي شوي مع المرور الوقت تحسن الوضع. أنا صار لي مع رايت بلاي صار لي شي 2 سنين، بنروح معهم بنعمل رحلات وبنروح على الملعب، وهناك كمان بيلعبونا وبيعلمونا.
اليوم عنا يهتم، يوم عنده روح على عندكم بفيق من يفيق مهتم، بده يمشي بده يروح لهنيك، حتى أنا بسأله رحت اجيت يقول لي ايه، شوفوا مهتم يعني، وخليه يروح يعني إنه مرتاحة نفسيته. اللعب ساعد ماهر على هيك خطوات، يعني على هيك أزمة تخطاها. باللعب ينسى الولد ونساه، يعني يوم انه يروح يلعب ينسى أكثر من يوم انه بيبرك بالبيت. يوم انه بيبرك حدي أو يبرك بالبيت بيصير بيفكر بالمواضيع هذيك.
Before going too much into details of how Right to Play works, we attended a weekly music session with Maher. They told us that this is not mandatory for the children of this camp, but since they started implementing sessions here, more and more children attended each session that took place.
بطارية غسلت للبيت، 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 علينا الهوى ورجعنا.
The basic idea behind this session is to teach children life skills through playing, in a way that they can understand it, because once they are engaged in what they do, that's when the magic happens.
24
The music session didn't last for long. It quickly turned into a real chaos. And that made me realize that all they wanted was to have fun and be able to play freely in a safe environment. And that's exactly what Right to Play provides them. Don't let your brothers down. So that's how a session works. But we still don't really know how right to play and playing exactly works, right?
In Lebanon, we work with the children and youth from all ages and from 0 to 18. We have around 25 staff who can pretty much work with the community on a daily basis to ensure children are empowered, protected, and educated.
So we started with facilitating just activities for the children, focusing on holistic child development. While now we are working with ministries of education in maybe 10 to 12 countries. So we train their teachers on the play-based methodology. We did a cascade models where we train governmental officials, teachers, trainers to take the lead in teaching other teachers. So Right to Play is delegating the responsibility of training the teachers to the government so that we can reach more and more. And this is the key of success for Right to Play, which differs it than any other organization. By delegating that responsibility for the organization themselves, they can sustain the program without even the presence of Right to Play. And this is what we are aiming for, to scale up and to sustain our programs.
Once they found the right partner and taught them about the play-based methodology, these partners conduct on-field sessions each week to give the children the opportunity to learn essential skills in a safe space. It can be through sports, art, music, and more, always while playing in a manner that they can understand.
So now we're having a kids athletic session. It's in Burj Barajne camp in Beirut. It's a Palestinian camp. We implement this session here in this camp with the local NGO. The goal of this session, it's definitely to give physical ability for the kids, to learn the kids about life skills. Each game is related to a life skills that also targets something in their daily life.
The methodology is based on the experiential learning cycle. It makes you learn from the experiences. So it can be a game, it can be your participation in a sport specific, it can be in your participation in creative play or in free play. So that kind of your participation is an experience for you. So Right to Play build on that experience using the experiential learning cycle and make a strategy of discussion with the children based on 3 steps. First, the children and youth and participants are asked to reflect on what they experienced during the game. So they will be sharing what they thought about it, what is their emotion, how did they feel, how they build strategies, and so on. The next step, they will be asked to connect what they just practiced with their reality outside of the school or the classroom or these experiences. So by doing that, they are connecting the learning with their past experiences and past knowledge. And the last and the most important thing is how they will apply this learning in their future. And this took them to a point that they have to think about action planning, how they can put the learning that they just got from the play in future planning. We believe in this way we are using the play not just for fun and entertainment, but as a very strong tool to learn skills out of what you enjoy doing. Because we realized we do too many things in life without noticing the importance of what we are doing. Because we didn't analyze it, no one asked us about it. But when you ask a question, and an effective question, you are putting the interviewer in a position that he or she have to think deeply about what she is doing. So the learning will become more effective when you live it yourself, when you express it in yourself, think about it, okay, how I'm going to use it in the future.
So the role of play for children is critical in being able to disseminate the right messages and approaches for them to be able to cope in their daily lives with the fear and uncertainty that they face. And so I think it's absolutely vital.
Play brings communities together. As I mentioned, play works on so many levels. First, we can develop a person and, change this person and change lives or empower this person. Once we can work, once the individual knows his worth or her worth, they know what they can do and they have hope. This person will actually want to transfer this to another person. Through play, you are able to get these children and these families and these communities together. Once we are able to get these communities to think about the common challenges, they will be able to provide solutions for these communities. This is how we're doing it. You can do it through play, because once these people are playing, people are actually forgetting their troubles. People are actually forgetting what they're passing through, and they're just engaged in the moment. And once they are engaged in the moment, this is the secret, because in that moment you can use play to actually transform this moment into something positive, and for them to take back with them to their homes and actually work for something better.
I would have to do somehow. Then the rooster crows at the break of dawn. You look out your window and I'm out to go.
Thanks to their dedication and methods, Ride to Play changes millions of lives every year. I know what most of you are thinking, but is this really gonna change the world? As a kid, I faced myself a really tough childhood. Nothing compared to them, but I was lost. Couldn't fit in society to a point where I was even wondering what I was doing on this planet. And as soon as I discovered my purpose here and found something my heart beat for, my whole life changed. My whole freaking life changed. This is exactly why I'm going to Lebanon since 4 years. I believe that every single human being must have the chance to have a spark in his life. I think and hope that showing this to all of you will lighten up a feeling in your heart and souls. And that is my way to change the world. So we are in Beirut and we just got to the refugees camp. We've been waiting for this moment for about 3 years now. Speaking about this, bringing kids on snow, and today is the day. We're about to pick up the kids. I'm super excited. I think we're all really excited because it's been a lot of work to make this happen. So let's see how it goes.
صراحة لا. أنا ألحظ كيف أقول لك خايف ليوم الثلج. أنا توقعاتي ليوم الجمعة الثلج بتجي هيك الشمس وتروح كل الثلج. على حظ الثلج بيروح.
لا ما أنا خيره.
يعني راح هيك تشوف الدنيا بيضة، بشوف الثلج. فرحتي لا توصف، لأن ولا مرة ركبت على لوح تزلج وتزلجت على الثلج وهيك. راح يكون شعور كثير مش طبيعي.
Our goal with this day was to offer them a day that they would forever remember. As soon as we got on the bus, we could really feel their excitement. And that was one of the highlights of the trip. A bus filled of crazy, beautiful energy. This emotion travels and touches me deeply. Even though my Lebanese is really bad, we connected. They all tried my guitar, and we even discovered talents in there. I was so excited to see them on snow for the first time.
نمشي بهالليل الساكن غير الكل. انتي بعيونك انا ساكن. ايه والله شفتي الروح اللي عاشت فيكي. ايه والله ايه والله.
Sitting lonely, living slowly, way too far we've come. Close to the sea, sometimes I feel where I belong. No one knows where we're going, standing in the sun. Where we came from, miles away, dark days are gone. Oh, driving through the desert, cutting the air like a bullet that won't be shy. Next time I see you pass me by, looks like I'm falling in love with you. But I don't wanna waste no time on you. You're dancing in my head, and you're the sweetest dream I had.
So we just made it up on the snow, and it's so incredible to see them. They've never seen snow, most of them. They're so hyped, and I can't believe they're snowboarding. You know, they look like kings. Look at that. It's gonna be so much fun. I don't know how good they could be, but I'll do my best to teach them about the teacher.
Looks like I'm falling in love with you. But I don't wanna waste no time on you. You're dancing in my head, and you're the sweetest dream I had. Looks like I'm falling in love with you. Looks like I'm falling in love with you. Falling in love with you. But I don't wanna waste no time on you. You're dancing in my head, and you're the sweetest dream I had. Looks like I'm falling in love with you.
Unbelievable to see how much fun they have. This is the power of playing, you know, this is the power of sports, the power of snowboarding. You know, they're just here and they're having the best time of their lives, and so am I, so are we all, you know. It's like such a strong energy, and yeah, you just realize that this is what it's all about, you know, playing.
معي أنا بس
No.
no.
I think the play project was a necessity, especially in these dire times that we live in, you know. Parents are under pressure for putting food at the table. Children are working to help their parents get money to the household. During all of these situations and hardships that they're passing through, you know, they don't even have time to really feel like they're a child again. So I think the play project was very necessary for that. However, I do believe this has to be done on a regular basis because, you know, I'm gonna close my statement with one quote that was said from the children yesterday. When the children were returning home and they were going down the bus, they told us, take us back up there to the snow. And I think that says a lot on how important that day was.
Projects like this are especially important to provide some of that relief and happiness and enjoyment for children that are participating in these activities. What I would say is that we need to do a lot more of these types of projects so that we can support children, but also we need to look at the family as a whole as well. I mean, I foresee that a project like this could also include parents, because parents require just as much support as the children do in this type of situation, and sometimes even more. So it's a very important project. It's one that should continue, and it's one that should even grow.
This is it, the end of a chapter. I cannot thank these kids enough for showing the world their strong energy and willpower to fight in life. I live in a world where everything is given. I have drinking water, food, a shelter, and a close family. I tend to forget about it from time to time. I think we all do. But again, these experiences are here to remind us of what we have. A change starts with realization, then comes reflection and action. This is pretty much what happened looking back to these 4 years. Realize, reflect, act, and repeat. Thank you for watching. You can now tap on your shoulder and give yourself some time to feel good about yourself. I hope and know that you'll find a way to give back, because giving is what makes us humans true heroes of our time. Much love, my friends. I hope to see you soon. Pat.
All my colors fade back in time. Sweet city, I thought you were mine. Been looking back and we never learn. Bonfire for all that we've earned. We keep on rolling backwards. Rolling back, keep on rolling backwards. Oh, we keep on rolling backwards. Rolling back, keep on rolling backwards. We see the world in such different ways. From weeping willow to the flames that follow me home. We see the waves, they are ruling the bay, and hope for the day that we earn the right to play. We keep on rolling backwards. Rolling back, keep on rolling backwards. We keep on rolling back,